Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah, NBA Straya, how are you going? How you going? I hope you're right. You should be. Why is that, Jim? Well, it's Friday and you've probably had the day off. I'm just saying. That's right. It is Friday, April 25. That means it's Anzac Day. So hopefully you've had a very, very chill day in honour of the Diggers. Let's raise a few tins, I reckon. I'm your host, James Clements. This is NBA Australia. I'm in Larry Armour Studios. You can check it out on YouTube. I'm doing the stand-up thing again. So let us know what you reckon. I kind of like it. Just frees me up. I'm just feeling a bit better. And I tell you what, I need to feel better today because Dyson Daniels was robbed of Defensive Player of the Year. I've been upset since I basically woke up. Your mate Jim is just, they call him Grumpy Jim today. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that. We've got 3 game threes as well. 3 very different, fascinating game threes today. Loved that. And we'll set your weekend up as well. We do have the game wraps from today. We've got That's on the Night, Mate, No Mate, Spud of the Night, Better than Lonzo. Ball got some Nazi, Unpopular opinion of the day at Outback Takehouse. We'll do a quick Australian player watch. We did get some Aussies out there. How good was that? Enjoyed that. Good to see Paddy Mills. We'll do a Luke Longley Memorial Royal Player of the Week, as well as a pick and preview for the Saturday and Sunday games for this weekend. Because we might do a Sunday night show, just FYI. Don't tell old mate. She doesn't know yet. Either way, we'll see what happens, I reckon. All right, let's get into it. Episode 1255 of NBA Australia. Oh, let's go!
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gay.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek. This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
Watch out for the shark attack.
Well, you better watch out for the anti-Australian bias. The old no bloody Australians NBA. If you're an Aussie basketball fan. Jeez, it just sucks, doesn't it? Let's get into that right away, right off the top with the way we start every show here in NBA Australia with a daily whip around. There you go. Was that a whip crack? Was it, Jim? Yes, it was. Before we dive into the Dyson Daniels schmozzle, I hope everyone's having a good Anzac Day, good long weekend. It was also, I had a great morning with the Squids very, very briefly. Old mate got him out of my hair. I'm sitting there watching the NFL draft, these NBA playoff games. I'm like, this is pretty great. I'm stoked. Anyway, now a few tins and we'll be laughing. So, before everything else, Defensive Player of the Year was announced. And Evan Mobley won it. Boo! I was saying boo, because fuck that. Dyson Daniels is robbed, I swear. All he had was 229 total steals across the year, the most in 30 fucking years when Gary Payton won Defensive Player of the Year back in 1986. 3.01 steals a game. That's the most since 1990 fucking one. He had 284 stocks. He's the first guard to lead the league since Michael Jordan in 1988. It's insane. I can keep going. 443 deflections. The next best was 272. What are we doing here? Even if you look at, the advanced stuff like defensive box minus, he finishes at, I believe, 2.6 ahead of Mobley, who's at 1.5. And you're just like, come on, man. Dude's averaging 3.01 steals a game. All he does is cause all sorts of havoc on the perimeter. And then you go, aha, that's the key word, isn't it, Jim? Perimeter. He was a perimeter defender on a team that wasn't a good defensive team. Counter. It's not Dyson Daniels' fault that the rest of his team was fucking shit at defense, right? Evan Mobley's team, he's got Jarrett Go the Throw Allen next to him, meaning he can range back and forth from the paint to the perimeter with fucking impunity, knowing that he's got another big man defender there on the court for the most part. And usually they had a defensive wing out there as well because Garland and Mitchell were pretty shit on defense. And they were also like not a great defensive team across the season. Ends up, they are just a lot better than Atlanta. And fucking Draymond, he steals a bunch of votes from our man Dyson, I reckon. Probably doesn't cost him the award, becomes very fucking close. Because if we don't have this bullshit, weird, self-aggrandizing candidacy from Draymond over the back half of the season, it's called Defensive Player of the Year, not Defensive Player of the last 2 months of the season. And he ends up with, 10 first-place votes and stuff like that. You're like, come on, man. This is just, it's just a bit shit. Like, yeah, the Warriors had one of the best defensive ratings in the last 2 months, but they also had a fucking Jimmy Butler. Last time I checked, Draymond Green's name is not fucking Jimmy Butler. Anyway, he finishes with, it was a weird one as well because the coaches were like, fuck yes, Dyson Daniels, best defender in the NBA. The coaches' vote went towards Dyson Daniels. Weirdly enough, Evan Mobley didn't even make the top 3 in the coaches' awards. And this is an interesting fact for me because when we talk about media stuff and like the media votes and how that sort of ends up swaying this sort of shit, guess who's fucking game planning for these players, right? Not the fucking media. Guess who gets swayed by narratives? The fucking media. Come on, man. Oh, we're going to give it to the good player on the good defensive team that's the best team in the East. Do we? Mobley was good all fucking year, don't get me wrong. I hedged my Dyson Daniels picks as well. So I ended up middling this perfectly, but Jesus Christ, that fucking sucked. He ends up with a fairly decent chunk of the actual votes. And it's just really, really frustrating when you sort of look at it and go, well, what more could he have actually done? Right? All he did was lead the league in steals, lead the league by a terrifyingly large amount in deflections. And as a perimeter player, he guarded 1 through 5. They threw him on the toughest player of every fucking team, and that was everyone's case for Lou Dort. It's like, oh, we'll put him in the torture chamber. What the fuck do you think Dyson Daniels did? Trae Young wasn't doing shit. At least OKC has other good defenders. The fucking Hawks had absolutely bloody nobody. So, that's very fucking frustrating. Hated every aspect of it, but you get that on the big jobs, right? At least he came second. He had a great job. Well, he did a great job, I think, all year. He was fantastic. 197 total votes for him as well. 25 first-place votes for Defensive Player of the Year. Mobley had 35, so he was pretty fucking close there as well, but 285 total points total for Mobley. Just a bit shit, if you ask me, of the NBA award voters, but also not wildly unexpected because, look, as I've said time and time again, just let me just do all the fucking awards. As the Vice President of Common Sense for the NBA, it just makes sense. Let your old mate Jim, I'll tack another 0 onto it for Mr. Silver. Okay, Jim, let's start the contract negotiations, and away we go. Should be laughing. Anyway, so Mobley, look, he was very, very, very good all season, but Dyson Daniels quite literally put up numbers we have not fucking seen in decades. Decades! We haven't seen this since Gary Payton. I'm wearing the Sonics t-shirt right now if you're watching on the old YouTubes. Anyway, bit shit house. Otherwise, not a giant amount of other news really today because, I mean, Jason Tatum still remains questionable for Game 3 of Boston-Orlando, which obviously with his bung hand checks out. We got an insane comeback in today's games where Jimmy Butler, he's still questionable for Game 3 as well. And I don't know. We'll see what happens next. Pretty crazy. Right, let's get into some game wraps. Game wraps from today. What an awesome array of games they were. I'll tell you what, we got 3 vastly different games. We have the insane record comeback from Oklahoma City. You have the Knicks and Detroit right down to the wire. Let's start with Knicks Detroit. 118, the Knickerbockers of New York City win in Detroit, Michigan. 118-116. A really strange game because the Knicks were absolutely flying out of the gate. They're hitting their threes. Cat has a bunch of early points as well. He's crushing it. But the Pistons sort of stuck with them. Like, they were hitting all their threes. It was like 6 of 11 to start, but they're still hitting, like, you know, enough shots there, the Pistons, that they were just there. It was like 33-27 after the first quarter. And boom, second quarter run from the Pistons. They go up. It's like a 13-4 run. You're like, oh, the Knicks are shitting themselves. Here we go. Check this out. But then back end of the second quarter, Knicks take control again. They go up, 64-50 at one point. It's 66-53 at the half. 23-6 run to close by the Knicks. The defense really kicked in. Brunson got going. Cat was really good. OG was their leading scorer. And Detroit shot 38% in the first half. 4 of 17 in the paint, which is just nuts. Hardaway was hitting everything. Schroeder was hitting a bunch of shots. And basically, they were sort of just like what the Pistons were trying to do against them. The Knicks adjusted really nicely. Cat was moving around heaps. Yeah, Bridges handling the ball a little bit more in the pick and rolls. You had OG just absolutely everywhere. And obviously being aggressive on offense, which is pretty handy. Hart was causing all sorts of havoc. And then, of course, in the third quarter, we get a massive Pistons run. You're like, I was feeling good as a Knicks backer in this one. Nope. You got the crowd chanting, fuck you, Brunson, which is awesome. I'll talk about that again later. Down to a 1-point game. Cat gets an and one. Awesome drive. Then a Cat 3, back up 10. The Knicks just could not fucking hold on to this lead. Even with 4 minutes and no field goals for Detroit, it's 93-83 going to the fourth. Pistons get it all the way back to 4 straight away in the fourth quarter. There's these weird double techs. The Pistons just keep on fucking coming at you. And that's why I love this Pistons team. We've got fights going on. There's so much physicality. This is a team that is not taking a step backwards, and I fucking love it. But there's a big moment there at the back end of the fourth quarter where I think they get back-to-back buckets, right? Cat has this huge jumper with 3 minutes left. Beautiful jumper as well. Brunson gets another bucket. They're up 7. Suddenly, another Beasley 3. It's 112-108. And then the Knicks nearly cook it down the stretch. They hold on. And then we get to the weird fuckiness at the end. Beasley hits a big 3. They cut it down. There's like a half second left. Brunson is going to miss his second free throw. And the Pistons clock operators press it too early. Kind of giving the Knicks a free possession rather than just as soon as they touch it, the clock goes and the game's over. They get to inbound it. Of course, they fuck the inbounds and away we go, but very, very smart. We'll talk about that again in a second. Cade ends up with 24, but he took 25 shots. Hardaway had 24 on 7 of 12 from 3. Dennis Schroeder, I am jamming Rondo, had 18. 12 for Beasley. He could not hit a shot today. 2 of 10 from deep. Jalen Duren was good. 16-8 for him. Knicks eventually cooled down on their threes, but Brunson ends up 37-9. 1 of 7 from downtown, but 9 of 20 overall, and kept getting to the free throw line because he's a free throw merchant. Just FYI. Cat, 31-8. Pretty good game from him. Very impressive, I thought, because he just sort of went, hang on a second. What happened in game 2? I'm not going to let that happen in game 3. And it didn't. And they won. OG ends up with 22. That's only 4 points in the second half, but he was still really good. 20 for Bridges. Hit some big shots too. 6-11-9 for Hart, and nothing else really. Because that's the entire Knicks team. Like they're not playing anyone else. Anyway, Knicks go up 2-1. Good stuff there. And then the absolute ball terror. Oklahoma City win 114-108 in Memphis after being down 29 points. 29 points they were up, the Grizzlies. They lose Ja Morant. Looks like he's hurt his ankle again. That was brutal. They go 8 of 13 from downtown to start off. They're smashing him. Scottie Pippen's just causing all sorts of havoc. They're up 11 after the first quarter. You had 50 points with 8 minutes 50 left in the second quarter for Memphis. They were crushing. Ja goes down, and it just gets a bit wonky. But they're still down 29 points. Don't forget this, OKC. 69-40. Brutal. They cut it to a 22-point deficit just before the half, then boom, give up a... And this was the weirdest part, I think, for OKC. They gave up a 5-point run in about 7 seconds, right? So it's 77-51 at the half. You're like, that's not what these guys do. What's going on here? It was like bad. This game was over. Pack her up. We're done. You know, OKC just lost a bit of focus. Memphis come back after being embarrassed in game 1, losing game 2 pretty badly. Here we are. Au contraire, because OKC are just absolutely next level. They never panicked. They never freaked out. They just did their thing. Chet hit some threes in that third quarter. It's a 13-point game. They rip off like an 11-0 run, and suddenly they're just back in the game. It's like 16 points in the third quarter for Chet. He just keeps going. It's a 13-point game with 2.5 minutes left. And then it's a 10-point game. And then it's like an 8-point game. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Oh my God, this is electric. That Memphis crowd is absolutely shitting their dacks. They rip off a 36-18 point third quarter. Out of nowhere. It was awesome. Massive J. Will 3 at the end. Back and forth to start the fourth quarter. Chet has this 6 slam through everybody. It's a 6-point game. SGA hits a 3. Boom, 3-point game, 8.5 minutes left. SGA gets fouled. They tie it up. It's a tied game after being down 29 points. The Grizzlies at that point had gone 6 of 24 from the floor in the second half. They rip off this nice little 6-0 run to go back up 6. And you're like, okay. And then 2 quick buckets for OKC. It's a 2-point game, 5.5 minutes left. Dort hits a shot over Reedy. It's a tied game again. Pippen hits a 3. And it's like 108, tied game. Well, 108, 105. And then just the Grizzlies didn't score again. Literally, almost 5 minutes down the stretch, they just didn't score. Chet misses a 3, doesn't matter. Thunder, they get their first lead of the night with 1 minute 20 left in this game, down 29. Misses the first free throw, I think, does Dort. Was it Dort? Something like that. Might have been Caruso. Hits the second one. Boom. They score again on this Dort throw up just out of nowhere. Grizzlies, 0 points in like the last 5 minutes. It was chaos. Dort misses 2 free throws. They're still 111, 108. They got a chance. Memphis cook it. Boom. Chet gets the rebound. Caruso leak out and score. Pack her up, boys. You are done. Grizzlies, you are an absolute embarrassment. Absolutely crazy. It's the second largest comeback in the NBA playoffs since 1997. Yeesh. Anyway, Memphis, look, 16 turnovers didn't help. Losing Jar obviously doesn't help. But we know that this team knows how to play without Jar. So it's kind of like, yeah, okay, that's a bit shit, I say. 22-7 for Triple J. Desmond Bain couldn't hit a shot all day. 10, 8, and 4. I'll talk about him again in a second. Scottie Pippen was absolutely fantastic. 28, 5, and 5. Santi Aldama was very solid. 14 as well. But OKC, just their composure, their confidence, that defense where they can just ratchet it up to like unforeseen levels where you're like, what the fuck is happening? Caruso's causing all sorts of havoc. And boom, the game is over and you've lost. 31, 4, and 8 for SGA, 24 and 8 for Chet, J-Dub 26, 6, and 5. 10s for Caruso and Isaiah Joe off the bench. But wow, what a win for OKC. And this is just one of those ones where you're like, oh, yes. They are fucking awesome, this team. No doubt about it. Absolute fucking legit unreal. And we should be fucking thanking our lucky stars we get to watch them. And then, not thanking our lucky stars of watching them, the Clippers kicked the fuck out of Denver. This Nuggets team is just... I was really bummed this morning. So I did the... doing yesterday's show. I'm like, Denver should keep this one close, shouldn't they? And then this morning I'm like, ugh. Clippers' first ever Intuit Dome playoff game. Maybe the moment gets to them. Maybe Denver comes in prepared. No, they did not. Clippers got out to an absolute flyer, kicked the fuck out of them. What was it? 65, 38, 48 at the half. And you're like, oh, yeah, Denver just can't keep up. They got 23, 13, and 13 from Nikola Jokic. 9 of 14 shooting. He had 9 points through the first half. You're like, what's going on here? Aaron Gordon hit his first 4 shots. He was feeling it. He ends up with 15 and 7, and that's it. You get 23 from Jamal Murray and fuck all else from quite literally everybody else, to the tune where I think Christian Brown has 9 points on 9 shots. MPJ is as useless as tits on a bull, 7 points on 2 or 9 shooting. And I mean, just at some point you're going to go, yeah, I mean, just as well you fired your coach that coached you to a title. That sure showed them. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? They shot 40%. They can't hit threes. They're like the Magic West. 7 of 26. It was absolutely brutal. 16 turnovers. The Clippers just kicked the living shit out of them. Like, again. And this is it. That's why I was so sort of bummed. I had done this morning's video and I'm like, just sort of feels like the Clippers' ceiling is just that much more higher at this point. Anyway, 20s for Harden and Powell. Kawhi. 21, 11, and 6 as well. He was fantastic. 7 of 17 shooting as well. Batum hit 4 threes. Derrick Jones Jr. hit a couple of threes. Patty Mills got out there at the end as well, which I'll talk about the Australian Player Watch. And they just fucking demolished them. 117-83 in the end. And it wasn't even that close, it felt like. The Nuggets just never had a shot, despite having the best player in the world. So, anyway, Clippers now 2-1 up on the Nuggets and feeling pretty bloody good about themselves. Now, let's do an NBA Australia Pro performance of the, I want to say night. Yeah.
That's not a knife. That's a knife.
I'm going to say Cat, then Brunson for the Knicks because that was awesome. Cat early, couple of big shots late, absolutely awesome games. Brunson down the stretch as well. He's just so fucking reliable. But, come on. Chet Holmgren, what a fucking game. He absolutely saved this one for the Oklahoma City Thunder. And it's one of those ones where you're like, remember that Chet game where they were down 29? And he just went, I'm just going to turn into like a 7'40" and fuego Johnny Storm. It was nuts. And honorable mention is going to go to Alex Caruso, who somehow, despite looking like Elmer fucking Fudd from Space Jam, grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck, shook it around, and just like stopped the Grizzlies dead in their tracks. That was one of the most like dominant defensive performances. They couldn't pass the ball. They couldn't dribble on the perimeter. Caruso's like, no. Just steal after steal after steal. It was nuts. And the Grizzlies just shit right down their leg because of it. But anyway, Cat's 30, Brunson's 31, Chet's 28 and 8. Well, was it 28 and 8 in the end? I can't even remember. God, he was good. Because he hit a bunch of threes. He goes 5 of 10 from downtown, 24 and 8. 8 of 16 from the floor, but absolutely spurred that Thunder team down 29 in the third quarter. One for the ages. Absolutely crushed it. That was so fucking cool. How about Spud of the night?
Spud, 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 it is Spud of the night.
Now, we had a few Spuds tonight. Malik Beasley. Just one of those ones where you're like, yeah, it'd be really nice if Detroit's, it's like, wow, we've got like something cool going on here. It's like, just, could your other guys just rock up? Tobias Harris does absolutely fucking nothing in that game. He goes 2 of 9. Absolutely brutal. As mentioned though, Michael Porter Jr., 2 of 9. Absolutely fucking brutal. Desmond Bain, as I mentioned, 3 of 14, Desmond. 2 of 11 from downtown. Jeez, it was rough to watch. Beasley goes 4 of 14 as well. It was just all over the shop, wasn't it? And, yeah, bit of a rough one. Aaron Wiggins went 0 of 4. Breaking my bloody heart. Anyway, good stuff. There's some Spuds. How about old mate, no mates?
Old mate, no mates.
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 Who's got no mates today? Well, that would be Jalen Brunson in Detroit. The fuck you Brunson's just ringing down. Absolutely incredible. This comes after the fuck you Draymonds that Houston delivered to Draymond Green and Steve Kerr had a sook about. I just think it's not very nice to say fuck you to somebody. That guy's got kids. Draymond's a fucking piece of shit, Steve. I don't care. That entire crowd can say what they want. If it includes saying fuck you, Draymond, I'm all for it. Jalen Brunson, though, that was kind of weird. It's just like, he's kind of just, he keeps flopping. He does some weird shit. Got into a bit of a fracas a couple of times. That's just good playoff basketball, if you ask me. But anyway, fuck you, Jalen was pretty fun. Fuck you, Brunson. Incredible gear from that Detroit crowd. Obviously, old mate, no mates there. And I guess, old mate, no mates, Jokic has got to be sitting there just going, fucking, can't wait to get back to horses. This is fucked, fucking. Just bullshit, fucking. Come on, fucking. Boy, get that man some help. Pantsing of the night. Zach Edey got a couple of times. My favourite, though, of the pantsings of the night was Mike Breen on the call, calling out the Pistons fans for leaving right at the end of that game. You're down 3. There's still time left, and they were fucking off. It's like, he's like, the traffic can't be that bad. It's like, oh, fuck. When Mike Breen's coming after you being a bunch of shit fans, it's your first playoff game at home in a million fucking years, and you're pissing off before the end. I hate that shit. I'm very, very much a proponent for staying to the very, very end of a game, no matter how shit it is, and no matter how much you're being beaten by it. The only times I've actually had to leave early from a game were night games with the Squid. I'm like, we're watching Carlton get their head kicked in. Let's get you the fuck home and to bed because it's already like 9:30. I'm already a shit dad. I mean, at that point, you should just lean into it and go, fuck it, who cares? Let's go to the pub. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, I'm always there to the fucking bitter end. That's how it goes. Who was better than Brodie James, Lonzo Ball, and Ben Simmons?
Lonzo was the best player in high school. He was the best player in college. You think he'll get to the pros and be like, I made it to the pros, now I can be average. We're coming for everybody.
Oh, Scottie Pippen Jr. Scotty with a Y. Scotty doesn't know. 8 of 16 shooting, 6 of 10 from downtown, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals, and a block. That is a fucking game. With Ja Morant going out after the first 16 minutes, Scotty was fantastic even with Ja there. Feeling great about that. He looked awesome. He was absolutely crushing it. What a great game by him. And remember, Lonzo has never played a playoff game. So there you go. All right, let's do some quick yeah-nahs right after this.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington, or commonly known as Wortho, and you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to
Australia.
NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
And you're listening to NBA Australia.
You're listening to NBA Australia.
All right, let's do some yeah-nahs. Hey, did those clock operators do that shit on purpose at the end of Pistons Knicks? Yeah, nah. Yeah, I'm not ruling it out. They got a free possession at the end of the game because they were like, oh, my finger slipped. That's amazing. Karl Anthony Towns was kind of like, yeah, that was a bit fucking weird, wasn't it? Karl Anthony Towns' voice. But at the same time, hats off to them. That was fantastic. You got your boys a fucking extra, possession. Hey, are Denver cooked? Yeah, nah, yes. They just... You watch that game today and you're like, how... You've got old-ass James Harden. You've got a Kawhi Leonard who looks better than fucking ever. You got Zoobs. You've got Norm Powell. And you're like, the fucking Nuggets just do not have a Norm Powell, right? It's weird. They got all these other young dudes running around. They just bring in Ben Simmons who has these weird moments, but still, whatever. Denver just couldn't fucking keep up. They should be down 3-0. They're cooked. Like, they'll lose game 4. Clippers, they're not afraid of playing in Denver. Even if they don't win game 5 in Denver, they win in game 6 at the Intuit Dome, and holy shit, Packer up Denver. Talk about that again in a second. Should we just blow up Memphis after that loss? Yeah, nah, yeah. To lose by 51 points in one game, get your ass kicked in the next, and then blow a 29-point fucking lead and lose by 6 and not score for the final 5 minutes of a game. At that point, your entire franchise should be either contracted or moved. That's how my Seattle Sonics come back. Actually, to be honest, I want them to stick the Grizzlies, just move them back to Vancouver. Memphis, sorry, but it just hasn't worked there. Oh, but we'll always have grit and grind. You just ground yourself to getting gritted in the fucking dick by the Thunder to the tune of a fucking 35-point turnaround. Jesus. Absolutely brutal gear. They gritted your dick they ground it into dust. It was fucked. Blow up Memphis. Jez Oz's good ones from yesterday's as well. Love this one. The commentary need to call games as if we aren't watching and describe the play and what's going on. Yeah, nah. I don't want to hear long bows being drawn about how when Julius Randle broke his leg in his first game as a Laker, the first one to go and check on him was Kobe. Like, who gives a fuck? Just tell me what's happening and why. I don't care about what the coach used to have for breakfast in college, for fuck's sake. Yeah, nah. Yes, there's a balance. Like, it's weird because it's so fast. It's very, very hard to be like, just saying the names of like, oh, he's passed it to them, he's passed it over there. But I feel like we need to hit more of a balance. And this is a big thing in football, right? So American football. They're really good at explaining exactly what is happening each and every play. They're like, if you see him break here, if he goes under here, you'll see this little pick pay there. Boom. This guy's open. The QB goes through his first read, doesn't see anyone. Second read, bang, nails him. In fucking basketball commentary, it's like, geez, yeah, look. Like, my go-to in the olden days was, Kobe's gone into facilitator mode. Yeah, what? Kobe's gone into facilitator mode. That just means he stopped being less of a fucking dickhead. What are you doing? Anyway, but this is right. It's like, literally, it's like, okay, so we've seen, as you saw with the Knicks and Pistons today, it's like, oh, well, what they've done is they've almost inverted what the Pistons are trying to do to them. They've gone, that's kind of cool. We're just not going to let you do it anymore because we've changed 3 different things up and you're fucked. And here they are. It's OG going off here. He's on these cuts every time Cat comes up above the elbow. And you've also got Brunson coming off these weird double fucking elevated door picks every so often. You're like, oh shit. You should walk away from a basketball game having watched it, also having learned something, right? I feel like NFL does that really fucking well. The NBA does a shocking job of it. Usually it's just Reggie Miller going, oh, watch out now, Kev. Oh, I don't know, people. This is just good hard playoff basketball. Is it, Reg? Is it? What's the difference between regular season and playoff basketball? Why does the physicality matter? Come on, explain it to me like I'm an idiot. Because I am. Next one from Jez. 100% agree about challenges. They are ruining sport. The best part is the human element. We need to learn to accept it as part of the game. This is one that I said on yesterday's show. So watching that fucking Knicks Pistons game again today, I love that they let them play. And I wanted to go over this one as well. I love that the refs didn't overreact too much to Knicks Pistons. They allowed like a level of physicality, a little bit of fucking back and forth. They let a bit of emotion go into the game, and that game fucking rocked. And I think Jez actually sent in another basically about that, because it fucking ruled. Like, it was just really, really fun, as Larry just goes off in the background. There you go. But he just goes absolutely hammer and tongs. It reminds me of good old-fashioned 90s ball. I love it. If you haven't found something you like about this game, you have no soul. Yeah, nah. The refs let it be a physical contest and not about them. Yeah, that's exactly what basketball should be. An emotional, physical contest. Fuck yes, I love that. It was a really good game today, so go check that out. And finally, if Benny the Bricky miraculously comes back and averages 15, 8, and 8 in 30 minutes a game and is actually a defensive menace next season, does he qualify for most improved player based on the last couple of seasons? Yeah, nah. Yeah, nah. Nah, he can't, right? Because it's like, that's his numbers from when he was good. Then he was shit. Now he's good again. It's not improvement. It's like, oh, you're finally back to your fucking normal level because you've been shit for 4 years. That's a different award. That should be the Ben Simmons Award. When someone was good, then they were shit for 4 years, and then they got back to being decent again. There you go. I've also got another good one, but we'll hit on a Monday from him, I think, as well. Hey, unpopular opinion of the day.
Now look at me, please. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I fucking love what the Clippers are doing. I don't know if that's unpopular, but I think it's not being made enough of, right? We're always too busy. Oh, Luka trade. Dumb shit that Kendrick Perkins did. The Clippers have turned the Intuit Dome for that first playoff game. It was fucking raucous as shit. They had all the horse heads on the wall. That was awesome. Jokic is like, oh, it makes me sad. We love horses. Because now he's the Cookie Monster. How is that? Yeah, me like cookies. Me sad to see horse on wall. Anyway. But the Clippers just fucking with other teams. I love it. I think it's fan-fucking-tastic. And you sort of look at their side of the bracket. We're like, oh, Denver Clippers is like the best first-round series. This could be a Western Conference Finals. Nah, Denver are a bit shit now. But you know who they'd play next? OKC. This could be a fucking all-time classic, just saying. So, loving what the Clippers are doing to the point where I have to track down and buy myself a Patty Mills jersey, maybe in a Box Hill Benny one. So, I don't know. We don't really show off the old Larry Armour Studios that much, but if you're watching on the YouTube, you can see all the jerseys I've got behind me. Here we go. Oh, there you go. Yes. Bunch of Aussie ones and then the throwback. I think they're all Aussie apart from the awesome knockoff champion Charles Barkley. Anyway, bit of a sideswipe there. Hey, let's do a bit of an Outback Takehouse. It's Friday at Outback. You know what that means? Oh, yeah. 4-for-1 TGIF oil drum cans full of icy cold Foster's Lager. That's right. It's Aussie for beer. Again. Because it's fucking not too bad. as long as you drink it icy cold and straight away. And it's 4-for-1 oil drum cans the size of your fucking head, only at Outback. And today's Flame Grill take is... The Nuggets might have fucked this. The Nuggets should have traded Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray a year ago. Only at Outback. Calvin fucking Booth was so concerned about how much he was light years ahead of people and how much smarter he was than everybody and didn't want to spend into the Cronkies' money, that he didn't sort of go, hang on, MPJ's fucked. Jamal's constantly fucked. They give Jamal the extension for no real reason. And the Nuggets might be cooked. Like, it's going to get real fucking dire because Michael Porter Jr.'s like value around the league probably at its highest last year. Jamal, probably once he got healthy at some point, you would have been able to foist him off onto somebody perhaps. But Jesus, they're fucked. Like, even with like perfect health, like Michael Porter Jr.'s got a fuck shoulder at this point, but you know, he's always got something. Same thing with Jamal. Aaron Gordon's like the only dude on that team who actually steps up every time with Jokic, and it's just fucking depressing. So yeah, Nuggets. I don't want to say it's the end of this group's contention, but fucking hell, if Jam and Jamal Murray can't turn a corner and do a little bit more and just be like that dude who's like, you know what, I'm going to score 38 points in a playoff game for a series like we knew that he used to be able to do, they might just be a bit fucked. So yeah, it's not great. All right. Let's do Australian Player Watch right after a very quick hammer.
This is Shane Hill, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, let's do it. The Australian Player Watch. Very brief one today. What was that, Jim? Well, because, well, we actually had some Aussies play, which was really good. Obviously, no Alex Dukas for the Thunder, which is a bit sad. Nobody on the Knicks and Pistons, but Clippers and Denver at least gave us Box Hill Benny going out there causing a bit of havoc. He played 9 minutes, went 0 of 2 from the floor. He had 0 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and was a +9. And watching him play defense every so often, you're like, Jesus, yes, do that, Benny. And then on offense, he gets into the paint, gives it this awesome shimmy move, goes up and just completely fucking clanks the shot. I think I tweeted out it was a champagne move with a beer finish. Light beer finish. Like a Hahn light ice. Ugh. It was fucked. But you just like, I can almost see into your future of just being like the world's most fucking prevalent defensive menace. Just work on that and then get your offensive game back. And I think everybody would appreciate it. But anyway. But then Paddy got out there as well for 4 minutes at the end of the game. He went 1 of 2 from the floor, hit a massive 3. 3 points, love that, +6. He had a turnover and a foul, but also did a great video, which we'll get to in a second, about how to wave your towel. So very good stuff from Paddy. Love that he got out there and scored some playoff points for this Clippers team in an absolute ass-kicking of the Nuggets. All right, what about a bit of a Luke Longley Memorial Role Player of the Week? This one's going all the way back to... There we go. Ty Jerome, who has been absolutely awesome. Awesome, I tell you, for Cleveland. The 28 points on his playoff debut at the start of this week was just absolutely nuts. It was the third most in a playoff debut ever for the Cavs, after LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. Like, that is awesome. That's just a dude who comes in, does his job. That's the perfect Luke Longley Memorial Role Player of the Week award winner right there. Ty Jerome, we love you on NBA Australia. What a legend. All right, Paddy Mills Game Day, Baller Game Day Twitter check-in. Let's do it. Paddy did have an awesome one with the Clippers. My baller from day one, Nick Batum. There's the one from yesterday. That's awesome. Vibe City, the mayor of Vibe City, Paddy Mills. 8,000 career points. He's got that ball box. That's very cool. And how we need to pull up to the wall tonight for the first ever playoff game at the Intuit Dome. He's got a big speaker. He's rocking out. So he's pretty happy to be a LA Clipper, I reckon, is our man Paddy. So he's got the big speaker. What is that one? Soundbox. Nice one. That's very cool. On you, Paddy. Hey, let's do some game previews, shall we? Game previews. Thanks, Inadvertent Bane. Not a problem, Jim. How's it all going? Oh, yeah, good Anzac Day. Going to smash some tins, watch some footy, hang out with the squids and the fam. Should be pretty good. We went 2 or 3 once again on the picks today, so if you're playing along at home, we're over 60-odd% now throughout these playoffs. It's 65%, I think, so far for the playoffs. So you can follow all of the picks, of course, over at Dabble. Use the code NBA Straya to follow and copy all the picks that we have each and every single day of the playoffs. You can use the link in the show description to join up. Tell them Jim sent you. Help keep this pirate ship of mine afloat. That's what we do. And of course, you can, there's the link in the bio on the socials as well. I think it's under the video every day on the Twitter as well. So jump in there, help your mate Jim out, but also check them all out. Lots of same gamers. We have the actual picks. We've usually got over-unders now as well for these playoff games, so see how we go. But anyway, appreciate it if you do. If you don't want to, that's also cool. You know, you're still a legend. Hey, let's do some game previews for the weekend. We've got 7 games because we've got 4 games on our Sunday. And I reckon we'll do a Sunday show this week to wrap up these games before the Monday games because it sort of gets a bit wobbly again back on Monday. I think there's like a 3 a.m. start. Well, actually, we could probably go through to the Monday game because I think that 3 a.m. Monday is a Knicks-Detroit game. Anyway, tomorrow we have Boston-Orlando down in Orlando. Game 3, you saw the Celtics get by the Magic in Game 2 without Jason Tatum. Can they do it again? I think they can. There were some slightly worrying signs, but the biggest worrying sign is that the Magic can't fucking score. Will this matter at home against the Celtics team that might be without their leading scorer? I just can't do it. The Magic, they nearly burned us last time. They lost by 9. We had them at 10.5, right? The Magic are 4.5-point home underdogs in Game 3. Can they try to get this back on, 2-1 in this series? I just don't think they've got the horses. Their role players will play better. Role players play better at home. It's one of the rules of playoff basketball, isn't it? If you listen to Reggie, I don't care if role players always play better at home. Shut up, Reggie. Whack. I still think the Celtics are just too good. 4.5 points. I'm just going to take it because the Magic, their inability to score just, as you're watching them, you're like, they go on those little runs, it's Paolo and Franz, and then fucking nothing else happens. But we'll see. It's a tricky one, though, because the Magic might just get a big boost from being at home. They might actually hit some fucking threes, and then suddenly they're in the game. But I'll take the Celtics minus 4.5. Pacers at Bucks. I don't know how the Milwaukee Bucks are 5.5-point favorites in this game, but I want no bar of that. I'm going Indy plus 5.5. They are so far and above clearly the better team in this series that it's a fucking joke. Now, this is a squirrely, absolutely fuck you pick as well, where it's like, why are the Bucks favorites? Like, oh, well, geez, they're pretty good. They go home. The series doesn't start till the road team loses. Like, have you seen the Pacers play the Bucks? They're so much better than them. But if the Bucks were gonna win a game, it would maybe be this one. But again, until proven otherwise, this Pacers team is way fucking better. Even if they lose, I think it's a bit of a close one. So I'll take the 5.5 points for Indy. Thank you. Plus 5.5. And then Lakers-Wolves. How good is this series? How good is this game in Minnesota? Cannot wait to watch this one. Lakers are 2.5-point underdogs in Minnesota. We know that Luka's kind of like, I'm not afraid of Minnesota fucking. And the Wolves, they'll be stoked to be home. But as I said after Game 2, they played the exact wrong way in Game 2. Were they a little bit eye off the ball because they'd already gotten the split? That's all they need. They now just have to win at home, and they've won the series. I think they might just be a little bit wonky here. And I think the Lakers get this one. I'm going to take the Lakers plus 2.5. I like the fact that, they've still got more upside offensively. LeBron hasn't really done a giant amount, it felt like at times. Luka's still really fucking good. I'll take the plus 2.5 for the Lakers. I think it gets a little bit wonky on them and everybody just sort of starts freaking out about the Wolves again. The Wolves should be better. That Game 2 was a worry. Anyway. Then, Sunday. Cleveland! That's right. Cleveland take on Miami. That's at 3 a.m. on Sunday. Jesus. The Cavs... Oh, man, pour one out for Miami, right? 6.5-point underdogs. The Heat are at home. I might take Miami in this, but I still think Cleveland win. Right? I think Mobley will be out there trying to prove a point. I think Bam will try to take it to him. I think the Heat hit a few more shots. I think they keep it close, but the Cavs still win. Then we have OKC Memphis Game 4. This has the opportunity to be one of the all-time blowouts as well. Memphis is just dead in the water, 3-0 down. 14.5-point underdogs in a playoff game at home in Game 4. 5:30 a.m. our time Sunday. How do we feel about this one, folks? Jesus. I'm taking OKC. As I said, I can't take Memphis. They blew a 51-point. They lost a 51-point game the other day and then blew a 29-point lead. I can't, in good conscience, take that team plus 14.5 at all. And then the other game on Sunday is Denver Clippers, you beauty, at 8 a.m. Sunday morning. So, wait a minute. We got 5. Yeah, that's game 3. The Nuggets are, 5.5-point underdogs? Oof. Again, I got to go the Clippers. This Denver team just makes me so angry. 5.5-point favorites, the Clippers. I'm taking the Clips. Denver, pour one out for this, MPJ Jamal team because I just can't see it. And then we finish off Sunday with Rockets Warriors. Yes! How good is this series? The Rockets are 2.5-point underdogs in Golden State with a big fucking fat question mark around Jimmy Butler. I'm taking Houston in a heartbeat. Are you kidding? 2.5-point underdogs with that defense. If Jimmy comes back, I still kind of like the Rockets. If he's hampered in any kind of way, I'm going the Rockets plus 2.5. And then Monday morning, 3 a.m., Knicks Detroit, Game 4. Look out. How good a Game 4. So we've got a couple of Game 4s over the weekend. Knicks are 1.5-point underdogs again against Detroit. Do you think they can pull off a Game 4 win and actually go up 3-1? I don't know. I might go Detroit in that one. They were so fucking feisty today. They just never gave up the string, which is like the opposite of someone like Denver, right? Detroit just fight and fight and fight. I love that. And there you go. That's all the picks through to Monday at the moment. And I reckon we'll come back and do a quick wrap-up show on Sunday night for you of all those games. And remember, we'll put all those picks and all the other stuff over in at Dabble. Use that code NBA Straya. Follow along. Check it all out. And sign up using the code in the link in the show description or the link in our bio on our socials and go nuts. Responsibly. Just saying. But either way, follow along. Right, that'll do us for today and for the week. Right, but we'll be back on Sunday night, I reckon, to do a quick wrap-up show of the Saturday and Sunday games. Maybe. We'll see how we go. If I don't pop up, I'm sorry, but I'm not that sorry. I'm taking the squid to the footy on Sunday afternoon, so maybe after that. A few tins in me, sit there, go, geez, what's going on? Should be good. All right, otherwise, check out NBA Australia across all the socials. What do you do? Twitter, Facey, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Jump in the comments. Check out the studio setup. See what you reckon. Standing here in my bung heel, but she's all right. We are all over the socials anyway. Get around NFL Australia as well. How good was the first day of the NFL draft? Bit fucking boring, but still. Check us a rating and review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever app you're using, the Android phone. And big thanks always go to... Actually, that, to be honest, is really fucking important. Rate, review, star, comment, jump in there. Help a brother out. Look, come on. I'm out here doing it by myself. Big thanks go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. Check out House Hats, Joshua Delarantis, Fascinated Gold Mines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Sector Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show, so smash them all on Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify. However you listen to and support your bands, do so. NBA Australia supports Australian bands, so should you. All right, that's it. We will catch you Sunday or Monday, you dickheads. I might chuck a Cooking with Baines in the end of this one, so look after yourselves, would you? Have a great weekend, and later ho!
Cooking with Bainesy is filmed in front of a live studio audience.
And now it's time for Cooking with Beansy with your host, Aaron Bangers Beans. Yes. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, look at you over there. Oh, yes. I see you over there, Cheryl. You're here every week. Oh, love you too. Oh, love you too, hon. Yes, look at you. Oh, this is great. Oh, come on. Oh, settle down. Oh, yeah, that's right. Thanks for that. That's Ripper. All right, g'day. Welcome to Cooking with Bainesy, and I'm your host, Aaron Bangers Baines. Yep, that's it. Cooking with Bainesy. I love this. And in this here episode, we are going to whip you up one of my absolute favourite Australian classics that you can have whenever. You can have it for brekkie. You can have it for lunch. You can have it for tea. It is that absolute modern Australian classic. It's avocado toast. Oh, yes. That's right, it's an absolute Aussie classic now, mate. And after I got this recipe from my little mate Deli, I love me some avo toast. And, maybe not as much as my mate Deli, you know what I mean? But anyway, it's easy as, mate. I punch through enough of this that it definitely helps me keep up this physique, you know what I mean? Every brekkie I'm on this train, so I reckon you better jump on board. All right, so it is bloody simple, mate. All you gotta do is go down to your soupy and just grab a loaf of whatever bread you like to toast up. Me, I like a bit of multigrain. I like a little bit more crunch in my toast. Just like the screens I set for the Celtics, a bit of crunch is what I like. Then I grab a ripe old avo, grab a lemon on your way out, and away we go. All right, now, and this is very important. A lot of people try to do fancy shit to avo toast. And look, you can if you really, really want to get all fancy-pantsy. You can put some goat's cheese on there. You can put some tomatoes in there. You can put a bit of red onion if you feel like it. Sprinkle some of that bullshit ducker, which I think is just fucking crumbs or whatever the fuck shit it is. But anyway, all you actually need to do is keep it simple as, mate. Toast, avo, bit of lemon. So it's simple. Fang your bread in the toaster. Then sit back, crack a tin, and let it all get nice and browned up. Doesn't matter what time of the day it is either. When you're cracking a tin and cooking with Bainesy, it's always time for a tin. So, now, slice up your avo, dump it into a bowl, scoop it out. Yep, there you go. Scoop her out into a bowl. Now, mush that bastard up into a paste. Just mush her up. There you go. Just mush her up. Fuck it. There you go. Yep. Now, once that's done, it's all mushed up, all nice. Get your knife. Now, your toast is done. She's popped up. Get your toast out. Now, slather that avo all over your toast about, you go 1 to 2 inches thick, I reckon. That's how I usually go, eh? Absolute, just smother it in avo. Beautiful. Look at that. Then drizzle a bit of lemon on top, and away we go. Just bloody well. Look at that. Put a bit of salt and pepper on top. And all you have to do then, get your bloody munch on. Oh, how good is that? It is an absolute bloody ripper of a treat. The best bit is it's good for any time of day. Brekkie, avo toast. Lunch, avo toast. Tea, avo toast. It's just bloody delicious, mate. And look, of course, you got to make sure you get your avos when they're in season, or else you'll never be avo to afford a bloody house. All right, how easy was that? Thanks to my little mate Deli for the recipe, and I hope yous all enjoy it too. All right, avo toast. Legendary. All right, tune in next week for a brand new recipe, and we'll see yous then on the next episode of Cooking with Bainesy. G'day legends, your mate Jim from NBA Straya here. That's right, I'm doing a thing at the end of the show. In the business we call it a thing at the end of the show, I guess. I don't know. Either way, all I'm just saying is just make sure you're rating, reviewing, starring, subscribing across all of the apps that you use for NBA Straya. Jump in the comments, give us a shout. We'll bang you in the air, Nas. Any other questions? I'll have a crack. I've got nothing better to do, basically. Also, just ask any questions, tell me what you want to hear from the show, and sing out and let us know. And of course, if you want to help support the show, jump on the old dabble, use that code NBA Straya, click on the link that's in the show description or on the socials. It goes up whenever I do the morning vibes, etc. So if that's your thing, jump on there, use that code NBA Straya, and remember, look after yourselves, would you?